Hey everyone, welcome to Taglish Talks, the podcast where we explore the way Filipinos use language in everyday life. I'm Vincent,
Hi, I am Nicole.
Hi, I'm Penelope.
and today we're talking about something that's part of every Filipino's life. English.
What is Taglish?
Whether we're in school, at work, or just even chatting with friends. English plays a huge role in how we communicate, but here's the thing. Filipinos don't speak English. We make it our own.
That's right. And in this episode, we'll break down the different attitude Filipinos have towards speaking English, both positive and negative, plus some interesting behaviors people show when they use it.
So let's start with the good stuff. Filipino value English is that it's often associated with intelligence and success.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever noticed how people automatically assume someone is smart just because they're just fluent in English?
Oh, definitely. I remember one time I spoke English during a group discussion and my classmate said, "Wow, ang talino mo naman even if I wasn't saying anything. In fact, that I spoke English that makes him that way."
Exactly. It's like just English gives people more credibility, especially in school and work settings. And because of that, many Filipinos, their English skill knowing that it's open up for better job opportunities.
Wow. Speaking of opportunities, another positive attitude is that English helps boost confidence, especially when talking to people from different backgrounds.
Yeah, if you think about it, a lot of Filipino work overseas or deal with international clients or being able to speak English makes them feel more comfortable in these situations.
And even locally, like places like hotels, in call centers, social media, being fluent in English makes people connected to the rest of the world.
Okay, now let's talk about the other side of the coin. The negative attitudes some Filipinos have toward English.
One of the biggest issues is that a lot of people feel anxious or insecure because of speaking English, and they're afraid in making mistakes.
True, some people avoid to speak in English altogether. They don't want to be judged.
Yeah, I've seen that happen so many times. Like when someone mispronounces a word or a grammar mistake, people laugh or tease them. Instead of encouraging them to practice, it just makes them more self-conscious.
And that's a big problem because it stops people from improving. Instead of seeing mistake as part of learning, some Filipinos feel like they have to be perfect before even trying.
Another concern is that the increasing use of English might weaken the Filipino language. Some people worry that the younger generation are losing their native language because they're exposed to English more.
Right. I've met kids who struggle to speak Tagalog or their local dialects because they mostly hear English in school, on TV, or on the internet.
And let's be real, how often we see parents or teacher telling kids, speak in English but reminding them to speak Filipino.
Yeah, that's true. While English is a great advantage, we also need to remember that Filipino is a part of our identity.
Now let's talk about something interesting. How Filipinos behave when they speak English. Let's start with kinesthetic or body language.
I've noticed a lot of Filipinos hesitate or look nervous when speaking English. Some even laugh or scratch their hands while trying to find the right word.
Yeah, and sometimes they avoid eye contact as if they're worried that someone will judge them.
Ooh, that's because speaking in full English feels unnatural for many Filipinos, right? We're so used to mixing languages. Taglish is just more comfortable for us.
What brings us chronomics are the way we use time when speaking. When Filipinos talk in English, they often take longer pauses, because they're carefully structuring their sentences.
Right. It's like their brains are translating their thoughts from Filipino to English in real time.
Exactly. And because of that, their speech is sometimes slower and more calculated compared to when they're speaking Tagalog or Taglish.
So, what does all this say about how Filipinos speak English?
Well, one thing for sure, Filipinos have a strong grasp of English, but natural way of speaking is Taglish.
Ooh, yeah. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Taglish allows us to express ourselves more comfortably while still using English when necessary.
And while English is important for career growth and global opportunities,
Yes.
we also need to make sure we don't judge or forget our own language.
That's a key. Balancing both languages, we can embrace English while still keeping our Filipino alive as a part of our culture and identity.
Yeah, you're right. And that's a roar for today's episode of Taglish Talks. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to share this podcast with your friends.
And let us know, how do you feel about speaking English? Do you love it, fear it, or are you somewhere in between?
Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode. See you.